Hi all, welcome back to more of The Other Side of the Hill, playing solo. This is my part 53. It's been about a week since I've done the last recording. I had a couple of things on, a couple of days away, and then, so I haven't had the chance. But we're back. So I was just catching up on the last bits of part 52, which I haven't released yet. I've been slow at watching things back as well. I think I'm up to 49, so there's 3 episodes I haven't watched back yet, which is dangerous, but as in, if mistakes have been made, repairing them now is probably unlikely to be easily done. Okay, so we just finished the Western Offensive of the winter it is, right? I wasn't sure where we were at regarding that. I thought we were maybe in the spring, but however, no. The winter in 1944, isn't it? And we just finished the Western Offensive. Yeah, obviously there's no landings because it's the winter. Yeah, also keep that in mind for the air naval controls. Yeah, I almost glitched with that, I think, at some point. But I think we just caught it in time. Right, so Soviet offensives. I think it's the same old. So it looks like there's 4 of them. There's only 1 disputed here in Ukraine. And then we've got adjacent Baltic states, adjacent Belarus, and adjacent Romania, Bulgaria. And that's that, isn't it? Yeah, and I also seen that we lost southern Italy there, and we've had to retreat into northern Italy. So that's the start of things going bad. Beginning in 1944. So yeah, we need to try and hold on a bit more. And obviously, things are going to start landing come the spring. If not the spring, then definitely the summer. And remember, there's 2 landing markers now as well. Okay. Right, 4 attacks to check. Right, where are we? Well, we've got a fresh set of generals, haven't we? Okay. Combat decks about halfway through. The last card drawn from the combat deck was card 20, so it was the toughest card. So that's kind of good. Now, the disputed area in Ukraine, we don't actually mind retreating. It will mean that von Kleist gets questioned, but I think I'd prefer to be back in here in the rough, getting the extra dice, and not sitting in the plains where there's chances of tanks appearing. So, defending an island, plains and rough, same armies in each area, so reasonable. Not great, but reasonable. So obviously this one's going to get 4 dice, the others are going to get 3, depending on their generals. Right, I'm remembering Bosch has a chance of cancelling a special effect. Von Kleist, that's the other thing for being back in rough, because he cancels a special effect if he's in the rough. Yeah, okay, and just remember, we've got Von Manstein over here now as well. Just remember, registered that. He's the only OB that we've got that does anything. We lost Kesselring, didn't we? And then obviously the one in the west never matters throughout the game anyway. I guess there's reasonings for that. I'm sure it's clear to some of you out there why there's not an OB that does anything in the west. It's obviously built into the game to represent, I don't know, failings in the Western Front, I suppose, or worse failings in the Western Front, or something like that. Anyway, so hang on, list von Kleist. Let's just have a look at the AGs. So we know what Bush does. List, is only useful attacking it in a rough. He's the one that's not any good here at all, that we could do with somebody else in his place, but I don't, I think we've been there and looked through things and whatever. But I don't know. That's definitely an area we could do with a defensive general rather than an offensive general. And then von Kleist, as a guy down here in the plains, defending any add one. Yeah, we need to be rolling black dice for him to do anything. So he is of use there if we're rolling black dice, but Yeah, I think at the time I put him there was 2 grey armies, 2 regular armies, and I was kind of thinking maybe I might be able to upgrade one of them to a Panzer army, but yeah. So and then von Kukler, I think he does something as well, doesn't he? Oh yeah, oh no, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. I'm getting mixed up with von Kleist and von Kukler. Oh no, we moved him. We moved him down to there. He was in there, wasn't he? And I thought, well, I can't seem to get myself retreated into there, so bring him down here to the rough so that he's actually doing something. Yeah, and then this was a new guy that we put in, wasn't it? So von Kukler is the one that can cancel a special effect in the combat card if it's in the rough, and that is defending in rough against Soviet factions, so that's good. So yeah, it's kind of von Kleist, unless we can get Panzer armies in it, unless we could do with getting replaced with somebody else. Okay, does that make your mind up about what you're picking, what area you're going to pick first, Grant? Well, the fact the last card was card 20, I'm going to take a chance and not pick Romania, Bulgaria, or Baltic States, because they two are the ones that have the chance of cancelling a special effect. Now, that's actually, Grant, when I think about that, maybe that's silly, because let's just look back at card... No, it's not. I'm just looking at the discard pile here. I know, it's terrible. Yeah, I suppose I'm glancing at the other good cards. To be honest, the good cards don't have the reduction so much. You know, they have a strategic event and nothing else happens, or they have the winter symbol. And by the way, we're in the winter. Okay, that's a point. And remember, von Kukler only cancels the reduction special effect. Now, does Bush cancel any special effect? No, he does not. He cancels the reduction as well. I want to see it's modal, isn't it? That can cancel any special effect, I think. So yeah, winter symbols are going to be rough here as well, aren't they? I'm going to take a chance, I think, and go for this one then. Hopefully we get a good card. Yeah, let's go for Ukraine. Okay, so going for Ukraine, drawing a combat card. Soviet faction on the attack, 1944. Right, well, we chose wrongly. However, at least it wasn't a special effect reduction, or I would have been kicking myself at that. That's bad though. So it's a special effect satellite reduction with no satellite armies, so that's just going to become a hit. And then there's 3 dice to be rolled. I suppose it could have been worse. That's card 7. It could have been worse. 3 dice is okay-ish. So what? Hang on. Was this Belarus or no? It was von Kleist, wasn't it? It was Ukraine. That's right, and because we're defending in planes here. Okay, so with no. No. Let's pick generals first, right? So von Kleist can't help us unless we're rolling black dice, basically. I'll bring him out. Yeah, +1 hit to the access combat roll for every black die that's rolled. I mean, it's good if you're rolling black dice, but getting the chance. I can't remember the last time I rolled a black dice. Maybe from an upgrade from Rommel, maybe at some point. That was probably the last time. But Rommel's now useless as well now, isn't he? Okay, so we need right. His seniority is 6, so we need to pick a leading general. Now we've got a 6 and 5s. So hang on, we can't pick the 6 here, can we? Highest or second highest, lower than activated army group head. Yeah, so I can't pick Guderian, who's our 6. I don't think I would want to pick him anyway. So 5s, 5. Oh, hang on, I'm sure I passed modal there. Right, we've got a few 5s, because modal could cancel that extra hit, like the satellite reduction, couldn't he? So let me see what we've got. Right, I've got 4 possibles, and I was going to say, right, we'll just pick one, but of course I'm going to show you them all. Right, I think he's not so good, because I've got a better one than him. This is defending in planes, remember? So I can change a grey hit into a grey tank. However, this guy's much better. He can change any one grey result for a tank. So basically that's given us, sorry, it's Ukraine. That's given us 2 hits, because we're rolling 1 grey die. And I just change it into a tank. Well, if it turns up a tank, then it's wasted, but however. This one's not bad as well. Defending in any. 2 reduced armies in the combat area roll 1 grey die instead of 1 white. We do have, so we'll be rolling 2 grey and a white. And obviously modal's good too. Cancel any special effect in the combat card. That would remove the extra hit that they're going to receive. So that's a pretty tough choice. I'd really kind of like to use him because we're defending in planes, but the fact I've got to get a grey hit. How many grey hits? Is there 3 grey hits? Or is it just 2? No, there is 3. So it's a 50... Well, hang on, Grant. You've also got a tank result as well. Maybe I should use that guy. Because I've got 1, 2... there's 3 hits symbols. Right? 1, 2, 3. And then there's obviously 1 tank symbol. So any of the 4 results gives me 2 hits. I mean, obviously if I get the tank, the general's wasted, but however. So the danger and oh no, sorry. Let's rethink that again. That's 2 hits as well, Grant. Yeah. So the only result we could get is the event on that grey dice. I think that's sold it for me. Because I prefer to still keep modal. There's 3 other combats to come here. And yes, okay, they've got a hit. But a hit maybe isn't as bad as a reduction. You know, them getting 1 hit or a reduction, what would you pack? You'd give them the hit, wouldn't you, I think. So, okay, I'm going to keep modal. And obviously keep this guy, because he's defending in any as well. So I'm going to get much better use out of him. Well, you say that, Grant, but it's really useful in planes, isn't it? Here's the other thing is, Ukraine is the area that I'm actually wanting to retreat in, isn't it? Does that make your mind change any more then? Well, if they start with 1 hit, thing is, if it's an attrition, I don't get to retreat to it. Oh yeah, I do. So even a tie here. So the fact they're starting with 1 hit, maybe I don't use it then. What about the guy that rolls the extra grey die? What about maybe just keeping the guys and rolling this? They are going to roll 3 dice with Grant, and there is a chance they're going to get tanks as well. No, I'm gonna use the guy I said at first that's in the plains. And yeah, I'm gonna use him. Right, so the rest are going to come back from one of the other attacks. Which I'll look through in a minute. But obviously, I'll try not to go over them again when I get to the next combat, because you've seen them all now. Unless there's any of the other ones that were. There was 2 other ones that didn't help here, I think. Okay, so let's do it. So that's this Pactor Generals. Let's see if Von Kleist doesn't help because we're not using black dice, but the other guy, Herman Hoth, does. But first of all, we've got a special effect, which is a satellite reduction. We can't apply a satellite reduction, so it does mean that they start with a hit. So I'll put that on the card to start with. So they've got 1 hit to start with, and now they're going to roll 3 dice. Okay, and remember, tanks are 2 hits. So we don't see too many tanks. Right, here we go, 3 dice. 3 hits. Well, no tanks. I mean, okay. No air hits, no events, but it's 4 hits. And remember, Grant, you kind of want to retreat. Now I jumped in there. Did I miss anything? It's the winter. Anyway, so there's no... Well, it's the Soviets anyway. They don't benefit for any area of control at 1. It's not at 1 anyway. It's at 2. I'll just swing back across there. You can see it's at 2 anyway. I forgot about him already. Von Manstein. He's our OB. There you go. Well, I'm just not used to having the OB over there, but you're going to have to start. Right, this is good then, isn't it? Does that mean let me re-roll one of theirs? Or no, it's re-roll one of ours. So Von Manstein should be in play as well. So he's our OB. So it says 2, if his marker is an OB OS box, the controlling player may re-roll 1 die in the Axis combat roll. The second result must be applied. Okay, so he's involved 2. So we've got 2 generals that can do stuff. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident about if we can just get to attrition. Is attrition or defeat? There's some slight difference, isn't there? Or is it just regarding cards that you might draw? Defeat is for every hit. And I mean defeat by just 1 hit. Because an attrition is equal and you've got to apply 1 reduction or 1 retreat. Defeat is for every hit in the difference. So as long as it's just 1... if at least 1 retreat or 2 reductions, or flip the leading... you flip the leading general as well with a defeat. Whereas with an attrition, you only flip the AG head. Okay. And if there's more than 1 retreat or 2 reductions, then the OB gets question 2. Right. What was... we've done the special effect. Yeah, I'm just wondering if I missed anything... The attack is in play, so we're defending planes. There's no bonuses to them, they're never control. There's no adjacent +1 areas, right? Right, so we're going to roll. We're not getting any bonuses either. However, like I say, we have this guy that can change a grey hit into a grey tank. And there's only 1 chance of not getting 2 hits out of that card, and that's if we roll an event on a grey die. We could also use this to re-roll 1 of the dice. So I suppose if we rolled the event on the grey die, we could use him to re-roll it. And then hopefully Hermann Hoth then can change it into a tank. Right, but dice. We are getting grey, 1 grey and 2 white. This is in Ukraine, yeah. 1 grey and 2 white. The combat is in planes, so tanks are nice. I've only got the 1 grey dice. But we've got the guns as well. So as long as we don't see an event on the grey dice, I think we'll be happy with this. Well, the whites could be 2 planks, right here we go. Oh god. Right, we're gonna get to re-roll 1 of the white dice, aren't we? Right. Right, I'm gonna use Von Manstein to re-roll 1 of these dice, so I'm going to keep these 2. Yes. And, yeah, because that's going to be a tank, right? That's fine. I'm going to re-roll this into a not blank or event. Not good. So that was Von Manstein's re-roll, right? Right, I'm going to use Hermann Hoth then to change the grey hat into a grey tank. Remember, the combat's in planes. That's going to become 2 hits. They are nothing. We can't do nothing with them now. There's no events. They've got 4 hits, we've got 2. So the deficit's 2 this time. Okay. So it's a defeat, and we've got to take a retreat or a reduction. For, 2 retreats and or 2 reductions. Well, we know we want to retreat. There is a reduced army in the pool. I don't want to retreat twice, so I'm going to retreat and reduct. So I'm going to take 1 reduction, start with. There's a reduced army in the pool, so we reduce that to that. then the second hit in the deficit, I'm going to retreat. So we're going to retreat from Vanessa into Debrecen. Okay. I've got this page open just now with the retreats. So they're then going to take back Ukraine. It's going to become Soviet controlled. We've already lost no, actually we didn't gain the resource there anyway, did we? We just moved into there. We really just advanced into there because of the general at the time, I think. And then, yeah, we're going to retreat. So move all the armies in the area, adjacent area. So all our armies are coming back here. And our AG head can go as well. However, well, I'll deal with that in a second. He's going to be questioned. Remove the marker of the head of the army group from the area. It may be placed in another area if allowed by the rules. If no area is available, put it into the available. Yeah, so I'm just shifting him back. Yeah, he's not any good anyway. Can I choose not to take him then? Remove the marker of the head of army group from the area. It may be placed in another area if allowed by the rules. It may be placed in another area. And allowed by the rules 4.3. That's wondering because he's not. But then, haven't we just been through and looked at everybody and decided he was about the best option we had? You know? And, yeah, I mean, he's not doing. Just, I mean, if I could get a 5 in play, there's some guys that could go in there and quite nice. I mean, even. Imagine Modal in there as an AG head. You know, that would be good. Problem is, when it comes to... You've got to get rid of your 6s. We don't have the 1/6 available right now, Grant. I think I might just remove him. I might have to put him back. Thing is, he's then going to be involved in combat, isn't he? Oh, he's going to be looked at. He's a 6. Still allows me to go to the 5s if I want to. Yeah, the general bits in this game it's tough. It's tough to work it all out. But I think that's where the main part of the game is. That's where you're going to get your success. 4.3. What was it referring me to there? No. Missed a bit. Where are we? Where's retreats? Here we are. Remove the marker of the head of army group from the area. It may be placed in another area if allowed by the rules in 4.3. Where does it tell us this? I think it's just based on we need 2 armies there. Hang on. Whenever the number of generals in an area exceeds the legal... No. Whenever the second German army enters an area, place the vacancy marker on the first AG... No. Beginning the command segment. I'm not carefully reading through all that. The fact the words are, remove the marker of the head of army group from the area. It may be placed in another area if allowed by the rules in 4.3. So I know that I can place them in there. I wouldn't be able to place them in there because there's already one there. So I know I can place them in there. But it does say it may be placed. If no area is available, put it in the general markers box on his player's board and move his card to the available general space. First it's saying may be placed. However, you know why it's saying may be placed? Because, let's say that was the only area we could go to, then it may be placed there, but however, it can't be placed there. My take is it's got to be placed. You can, hopefully you can see the way I'm reading that. It might just be Grant's way of reading that though. Because if no area is available, well, there is an area available here. So I think he maybe has to go. Yeah, yeah. I think it's that it may be placed as just if it's allowed by the rules, and it is allowed by the rules here. So I think that's where it goes. I don't think we get the choice to sort of just remove them. I wouldn't mind being 100% sure about that. You know what? I think I'm going to ask a question. I haven't asked a question for a while, so give me a minute. Right. I was posting that. It started feeling like it was a bit of a daft question to ask, I think. It feels like, surely, if you think about it thematically, then surely they all move back to the area. I don't know, it's just the word may in there, but I'm pretty sure when I read it, when I read it the second time and read the next sentence as well, which is if no area is available, then that may only comes into it if the rules, like 4.3, the rules about command apply or don't apply, I think. So, well, I've asked the daft question anyway, so. My take is, though, that he'll still be there, right? So, coming back to things. Eliminating armies that couldn't be withdrawn, and that further retreats must be applied. They do not. Right. Okay, there's no talk about questioning in there, is there? However, that's in the defeat section of the combat. So if at least one retreat or 2 reductions are applied, yeah, this is a defeat. Flip the leading general and the activated head of army group in the area and to the question side. So Von Kleist becomes questioned. This is fine, right? And Hermann Hoth is going to be questioned too. Okay. So let's get his counter. And there he is there, right, okay. So Hermann Hoth, right, so he's going to be questioned, and again, we're just going to stick by how Carlos has clearly pointed out to me that it's just as easy doing it this way. The only slight thing is, when it comes to finding the generals, you might have to search through. There's not going to be a lot of searching to do, Grant. Let's not exaggerate things. Right, so the combat's done. Is that everything there? And our OB didn't get questioned. He would be if there was more than 1 retreat or 2 reductions. Well, we done 1 retreat and 1 reduction, so all good there. So just AG head, leading general questioned. We're back in there. They've got that. That's the combat over there. Take the dice away. Get the combat card away. Right, but for the generals, so we've got Von Manstein obviously goes back in command here. He's not been questioned. Von Kleist has been questioned, but he's in command, and I don't need to put him up there. Like Carlos says, he's still in command. Well, actually, his marker's not there. It's out on the board, but that's fine. When I see the marker on the board, I come and get the card, look at the card and whatever. And Hermann Hoth, however, has been activated. He's been questioned, and I don't need to put it up there. I can just put it in there, like he says. And there's not going to be much searching. There's probably going to be. There might be a couple on top of him, right enough. But his marker's up there to tell me that I need to question him. So, okay. Right, well, that went bad, didn't it? It was me trying to cleverly deal with that. I mean, we did get the retreat, but I was really hoping for either just the one reduction or the defeat by 1 hit or the attrition, and the dice rolling was pretty poor. So anyway, okay, so that was card 7, which wasn't bad. Right, let's move on to the next one. Right, list does nothing. I'm going to go for Bush at the top then. He's a chance of cancelling a special reduction, isn't he? And remember, Von Manstein, of course. Okay, so, right. Combat check in the Baltic States. drawing a combat card. Soviet faction on the attack, 1944. 1944 on the attack. It's a good card. Card number 4. It's just a strategic event, and we've got a bunch of new ones of these. So no combat. That's actually okay. Yeah. I mean, I might have preferred it here, maybe, but that's actually okay. So it's just a strategic event, and remember, Bush can't cancel that. It's just the... Just looked at this recently, Grant. Yeah, it's just the special effect that of a reduction that you can cancel. So you can't cancel a strategic event. So yeah, we're just going to draw a strategic event, and that'll be that. Oh, here we go. Right, we've got what is it again? Misfortune check. P-51 Mustang. Doesn't sound good. Air naval control value in the Germany box -1. They're rotten. They're really rotten. Yeah, I've said this before. You want these cards in the strategic warfare die roll, don't you? So that you get a chance to move it back up in the movement phase. But now we're moving into the bombing of Germany. Actually, the time that would be okay is if you were in the summer, wouldn't you? Because you get a second operations phase, wouldn't you? However, we're not. We're in the winter. So, when we go into the spring administrative bombing of Germany, this is going to be Senate 4. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, so, what I'll do is I'll just nudge that down to 4 first. So that means we're going to get -1 in the replacements and the bombing of Germany. So probably going to reduce our Luftwaffe replacements down to 1. Unless strategic warfare is sitting at 3, we could reduce that to 0 maybe. Just go with the 3. We just seem determined not to get that to 4, do we? Whereas it looks like we might have had the chance to that. Well, we'll see. Right, so there's a misfortune roll to check, so we'll do that. Let's just roll a grey die. Yeah, and we don't want to see a hit. And we don't get a hit. Good. Okay, so no misfortunes to deal with there. That card's now done. Won't be back. And the combat, no combat, just a strategic event. So that was that for Bollock States, wasn't it? Yeah, because I was looking at Bush. Right, so that was a semi-decent card. Right, let's go for Romania, Bulgaria then. That's the one where we've got the best chance of things. I feel like we might get a combat here. Yeah, you can't tell, can you? It's just the random draw of a card, Grant. Okay, I'm going for Romania, Bulgaria. Right, so combat card drawn. Soviet faction 1944 on the attack. Right, well, we picked the right one. That's 14. So 1944 on the attack. Excellent. So, because Von Cooker's going to cancel that reduction, isn't he? I think so. And then 4 dice. So it is a combat. Right, generals. Right, well, remember von Manstein, Grant. Yeah, von Manstein. So I want von Manstein and I want von Kukor. Yes. Oh, that worked out pretty well. So again, von Manstein's going to let us re-roll an Axis die. Von Kukor is going to cancel that reduction. Remember, defending in rough. Yeah, and von Manstein's defending in any, attacking in any, and he needs to be an OB. Yeah, for that ability anyway. Right, so they're going to have 4 dice. We've got 1 reroll. Now we need a leading general. And see, this is where I'm tempted. Grant. Maybe I need the answer to this question, just in case. Well, I suppose, if the answer doesn't come back, before I get to deal with this? And the answer is, it's your choice. You could remove him from play if you wanted to and back to available. Then, if that's the case, well, no. Well, no, if that's the case, then I choose not to, and I just leave him. You know? Right now, if somebody comes back and answers the question saying, yeah, you can move him back to available if you want, I would probably do it, I think. But then he's then available right now. And he would be a second 6. We've got this guy as a 6. I'm just sort of wondering here. Mind you, they are rolling 4 dice, Grant. Well, we're going to roll 4 as well, remember? We're defending on rough. We're going to roll 4, and we get to re-roll one of them. And the special effect's cancelled. So I could take a chance and just chuck somebody random in. Like, just to get rid of him. Because he's the 6 that's in my... allowing me not to get at the 4s. If I don't do that, I've got to pick one of the 5s. But I suppose that's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? Modal, I wouldn't want to use because we're already getting cancelled the effect. We're not attacking in planes. We're not attacking in island. And modal, I wouldn't want to use, like I said. So the other 2 that we've seen the last time are... and he's going to be probably the better one. Allows us to reroll 2 greys and a white instead of 2 whites and a grey. And remember, this isn't so good. It's really only good in planes. Yeah, I just want to keep that guy for planes, really. So either take a chance and get rid of Guderian, or I think we play this guy. And we didn't roll well the last time, but we do have one re-roll. Well, we had one re-roll the last time as well, Grant. And if this guy was back in the available... No, here's the other thing. Maybe you don't want him back in available. If you use Guderian right now, and he was back in available, then you've still got a 6 there. Why not just let him get questioned? And well, that's more unrest, isn't it? Well, we got our unrest the way down, didn't we? We've done a few things with our production and political stuff. No, I think it was production stuff on it. Production directives. So, okay, what are you doing, Grant? What are you doing? I just sort of feel like this is a good opportunity to get rid of Guderian. What could the result? I mean, they're rolling 4 dice. So worst case scenario, it's 4 hits. And remember, we're not taking the reduction. That's cancelled. We're going to roll 4 dice as well. If we play Guderian, it's a grey and 3 white. We get to reroll 1 dice. They get 4 hits. Even if we only end up with 3 hits, it's a reduction. Oh, the reduction is going to be one of the reduced armies, Grant, by the way, as well. Oh, they've got chance. 4 dice with the chance of the guns. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to take a chance. Because this is, I think, the area to try it. And I'm going to use him. Our AG head is seniority 7. I've got to choose between a 6 or a 5. I'm going to choose this guy. He's the only 6 we've got. Well, like I say, I think maybe better just leaving that guy there anyway. And I suppose the thought is maybe I could get somebody a bit more useful in there. And yeah, here the other reason to get rid of the 6s is to maybe start populating these AG heads with 5s. I'd like to think that Carlos would say that as the game goes on that 5s are now okay-ish to have in the as AG heads, because there's not as many 7s, 6s and all that left. I mean, to be honest, we've got 1, 2, 3 6s out there, 2 7s, an R6, an R7, an R6. Yeah, there's quite a few out there, which is fine. Yeah, Yeah, I'm going to take a chance with us, and he's going to be our AG head. He's attacking into any, but so he's not going to do anything for us. But he is lower than the AG head, seniority wise. So, okay. Are you sure? Are you sure, Grant? Not really, yeah. Yeah, okay, right, special effect to resolve. There would normally be one 1944 on the attack. Would be reduction. However, he cancels the special effect in the combat card. The reduction special effect if we're defending in rough against Soviet faction. So that's cancelled. So now they are going to roll 4 dice. Nothing we can do about their 4 dice. Yeah, okay. We're the defending in plane, defending in rough. Sorry. So tanks are just 1 hat. That's 3 hats and a hat to the air naval, which is not bad. Not a bad timing to get the air naval actually. So that'll be 3 hats because our air naval is at 2. Well, just now about to drop to 1, and 3 hats for them. So ideally you want 4 hats, but okay. So we are rolling 1 grey and 2 white, and then 1 extra white because we're defending in rough. And our OB's ability of a Manstein is we can re-roll 1 of these dice. Defending and rough. Okay, so guns are good though. Let's do it. Not missing anything, are we? Yeah, the rough still applies, even though it's 1 arm. We've looked at that already. Don't know why we were looking at that, but right, here we go. Ooh, just, I've looked at the blank right away. That's a great result, isn't it? That's 5 hits. 5 hits and a reroll, but I don't want to reroll, do I? I don't want combat events. So it is a may, isn't it? It is marking the OBO spot, so controlling player may reroll 1 die, and that is his combat roll. I choose not to. There's nothing we would want to re-roll out of them, is there? Yeah, because there's a chance of an event. They're sitting with 3 hats, 2, 4, 5 hats for us. Right, so air naval hat takes our air naval down to 1 on the eastern front. That takes care of that. That goes away because it's doing nothing. And then, like I say, they've got 3 hits to our 5, so we're all good. Combat card goes away. Von Manstein goes back in command. Von Kukor goes back in command. And Guderian's away. So our gamble worked. And when I say he's away, he's in the, what is it? Activate pile. So for the rest of the year, you know, we shouldn't need him. So now we're down to 5s. And we get to look at the 5s and the 4. But I think more importantly, if this guy was to go away, I mean, yeah, you're talking about in the spring operations phase, then we there's a good chance we can replace him with somebody that's going to do something. Okay, it might be a 5 seniority bot. Okay, that was Romania, Bulgaria. Now, our air naval control has been hit down to 1 now, so that's a bit of a downer. Right, 1 more to go, and then I'll probably wrap this video up. I should get back for a bit later. I'm just going to take the dogs out for a walk, though, first. So, yeah, we've got List, who's doing nothing. But we do have one Manstein member. Right, so it's defending an island. I'd be quite happy for no attack here. So, Soviet faction on the attack, 1944. Unfortunately, it is card number 9. So it's a reduction and 3 dice. Not so good. Right. So again, we have one Manstein rerolling a dice for us. And who have we got? List, who doesn't help us, does he? List is only when attacking at the rough. So he's not any good. Right, so we probably want to pick somebody now. But now we can pick. Ooh. We could put modal this time. But see, here's the thing. You know, modal would be great in here, wouldn't he? Or he'd be great as an AG head. That's what I mean. Right, we've got the 5s, we've got... you've got access to the 4s now as well, Grant. Right, hang on a sec. Let me have a look. Right, so there's 2 4s that are of use. I think we only have 4 4s. We've got the amazing Henrique defending an enemy against the Soviet faction. Reroll up to 2 dice in active combat roll, controlling player may choose the original result and the new result. He's amazing. Again, how good would he be? Would I care if I wasn't having a leading general and I just had him and von Manstein in my... You know, I wouldn't care about not being able to play a leading general. Now, hold on. You're not going to be able to put him in there until you get rid of the 5s, and there is quite a few 5s, Grant. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. We're really... Well, this is where we need to think about our 5s to replace... I mean, I can't... Thing is, I can't replace him, can I? Because we need to be higher than the 6. Yes, if it becomes a vacancy. So we're kind of hoping that we take an unrest hit and he goes away. His confidence is 3, which is 50-50, isn't it? There is dissident markers, so well, there's 1. So yeah, well that was the other 4 was this guy defending in any trolling player may change 1 black and white for 1 blank white hit. Which is alright as well. The combat's here. Yeah, Belarus. So we want something here though, don't we? How many dice did they get in? Was it 3? But we're sitting with a reduction as well. Right, so I'm just thinking there. I'd sort of quite like to put modal in here. And then I'm thinking, if I put modal as a leading general, he then becomes activated. Oh, and let's just say there's a vacancy here. I'm going to have my most senior generals are going to be 5s that are available. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be higher than, isn't it? I think it's caught me out that before. Well, it's 4.3, isn't it, Grant? It's not very good in the rule, but it just goes through examples here, doesn't it? I don't think it appointments, does it? I must tell you here. It goes into big examples, doesn't it? Right, solitaire play. No, hang on. No, I said this before and it is here. So when you're appointing somebody, the player may choose a general with the highest seniority factor is available. If there is a tie, you may choose which general to appoint. Alternatively, you may choose a general in these activate generals or in command generals with a seniority factor equal to or higher than. No, we are right. Well, when I say right, I mean I was hopeful. So if I put modal in there, it becomes activated. Then it comes round to an appointment. I can pick modal and appoint them in there. Well, I think that's made your mind up then, hasn't it? Well, if you feel this is a bit, I think this is a pretty decent place to be using modal. I don't want to take a reduction. Yeah, I'm going for it. Right, so our AG head is list. He's a 7. So we need to be less than a 7. We're choosing from 5s or 4s that we've got available. We're going to choose Walter modal. Or is it Walter modal? I'm not sure about that. I don't think that doesn't sound right, but I know the V's in the second. Maybe, I don't know. So defending an enemy against any faction, cancel any special hit in the combat card. Well, we have a reduction special effect in the combat card along with 3 dice, so we're going to cancel that. Good. And like I say, this should work. I mean, this guy might still be fine, and then that'll be that. But again, I'd prefer modal in there instead of list if I could get rid of list. But I need to think about if there's a way to do that. Yeah, because list could get moved somewhere else, couldn't he? I'm sure this is where the whole smart part of the game is. It's about dealing with your generals and moving them about to the right places and whatever. Okay, right, so we've cancelled the special effect. We now have 3 combat dice for the the allies. We're defending an island, and no other general that's going to do anything is going to reroll one of our dice. Right, so 3 dice, was it? 1944, 3 dice. Not too bad. Right, put them in the cup. Right, 3 dice, an island. Here we go. Yeah, well, they're all hits, sadly. Yeah, it was only events that were saving us there, wasn't it? Because our air naval control is at 1. Remember, not only is it winter, they don't benefit from an extra dice enemy, the Soviet faction. So 3 dice, yeah, maybe it's just as well we... Right, so we've got 1 grey and 2 white, and that's that. So we're needing some guns again, aren't we? 1 grey and 2 white, but we can re-roll one of these, and yeah, that's about it. So some guns, please. Okay, that's not terrible. So... Well, we're not re-rolling that. I think we re-roll the strategic event, don't we? Sorry, the combat event. I know some of these can be good, but they're, I think, mainly bad, aren't they? So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to re-roll that dice. Yeah, that makes sense, because that's not a hit. We need hits. I mean, I need this to be a guns. So I'm going to re-roll this. Right, come on. Get lucky. Oh, yes! Yeah, beauty. Well, that was sweet. A bit fortunate, maybe, but... right, so... well, that doesn't count. That goes away. Right, we've got 2 air hats. Air naval control is at 1, however, so both of them just become hats. Boom, 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 like that. However, 3 hats, we've got 2 guns, 2 hats. We use von Manstein to re-roll that dice, and we re-rolled the strategic event into one of them. And 4 hits to 3. Excellent. Well, that, apart from... And you know what? The combat in Ukraine... Yeah, it was almost perfect. In fact, we should have... That's where we got a little unlucky, really, wasn't it? And then again, Grant, you just re-rolled that event into... a combat event. It wasn't a strategic event. Rerolled that into a guns, which was rather fortunate as well. So yeah, well, we didn't. Well, we got a reduction there, didn't we? That was the only downside. And to be honest, we've got this guy question that we're kind of happy to get rid of if you, and get somebody decent in place. So, not pretty good Soviet offensive, I think. Right, that's a combat done. Combat card goes away. Again, von Manstein goes back in command. List goes back in command. Again, List and von Kleist are kind of guys we want to go away. He's not terrible, but we need panzer armies, And then Modal has been activated, done his thing, done it well, and he's in the activate pile now. You can see our highest general's a 5, so come the time we need to appoint a general somewhere, we can pick any of the 5s from there, or anything 5 or higher from these 2 piles. And Modal's sitting there, just waiting to come into like Hungary or, elsewhere. Or if we can get rid of List out of Belarus, maybe. But right, that was. Soviet offensive, there's military directive objective check with none of them to check. Supply check, yeah, nothing changed. They did move into southern Italy, the Allies. However, we're still not cut off. We're in northern Italy. I mean, Munich's a traceable area anyway, and nothing across that side. Just when you've been moving things about armies wise, Grant, like I say, we only took a reduction there. Yeah, I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AG heads and our 3 OBs, only of which 1 is of use and nothing else. Yeah, so no supply issues, no victory check to deal with that, so I'm going to go back. Yeah, I just remembered that got knocked down, didn't it? Right, so we're moving into the spring of 1944, administrative phase, and we're in the bombing of Germany step, and unfortunately we're going to take a hit. Yeah, probably am going to take it in strategic warfare, aren't I? It would be nice to put this up to 4, but it makes a bit more sense to have 2 Luftwaffe points, because all our air naval controls are at 1. Well, apart from the Germany one, like. Okay, 56 minutes. It's a good place to leave it. I will be back for another part shortly. Okay, cheers.